Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the journey of understanding human life, cultivating peace, creating a fulfilling life. Today is day 11 in 100 days, and this is the journey to elevate your inner awareness about the inner being. And before we get into the new lesson, we will have some time to reflect on the new lessons or any applicable lesson which we call takeaway or the realization that we have throughout the day. So by doing that, we activate our human brain. We can see the good things in life, the good things in us, in other people, in our futures, in other people's future. I hope that you have the new lesson today or a takeaway or realization. So let's review a little bit what we have uh, learned together yesterday. So yesterday we discussed about the factors which affect our blessing in marriage. There are six factors that affect our blessing in marriage. Merits. The first one, resentment. First, resentment. And for women, they can't lose their blessing if they have the resentment. And because women can have the resentments simpler than men. So they lost their blessings simpler than men by resentment. But for men, they if they have the resentment, if they resent, means that they have lost a lot of blessings. So they lost their blessing faster than women if they have resentments. And women lost their blessings easier than men with the resentment because they are easy to have the resentments. That is the first factor which affects our blessing. The second factor is arrogance. So it's also quite different between men and women. For men, they can have arrogance simpler, easier than women because they often have good conditions or is more convenience than women in terms of their careers or on their life. So we easier see the arrogance in men than women. So that's why they're easier to lose their blessings with their arrogance. But for women, if they have the arrogance, means that they have lost a huge blessing to have the arrogance to be arrogant. So for women, if they have the arrogance, means that it makes they lost their blessing faster. That is the second factor which affects people's blessing. The third factor, which is anger, and Anger can destroy uh, a forest of, people call it forest of blessing. Like you can see that in the forest, if when there is a fire, it can make the whole forest be burnt. So anger is like that fire, can burn everything, including the blessing. And the fourth is ignorance. Ignorance affects humans' blessing, and adultery as well. Adultery is also affects humans' blessing, as we know that if we cause other suffers, we lost our blessing. And so for adultery, it depends on the region, culture, a religion, that it can have different effects to men and women. Anyways, if anyone suffered from that person's adultery affairs, so they will lose their blessing. And the last one, dogmatism or wrong view. So those who have um, dogmatism, they could like darkens their merit. And we know that merits have people awaken their wisdom, can help people to be balanced from within, to attain the inner peace. Uh, so if someone um, has the dogmatism, it means that their marriage is darkened. So we know that we need blessing and merit to have the good life. Blessing help us to have the good material life. Merit help us to have good spiritual life. Help us to attain the inner peace. So we need to protect our blessing and merit. And to avoid these 6 factors which affect blessing and merit, we just, instead of uh, focus on how to avoid the darkness, how to avoid the problem, like resentment, arrogance, anger, ignorance, adultery, dogmatism. So we focus on appreciation, gratitude, would help us. When there is appreciation, gratitude, there is no resentment. We focus on humbleness. We question ourselves how to be humble. So if there is humbleness, there is no arrogance. We focus on tolerance, inner peace. If there is tolerance, inner peace, there is no anger. We focus on we focus on the morality philosophy. So if people understand the ethics, morality, course is will make the less chance for them to have the adultery. And if we realize in the truth from within, we have um, we have the inner emptiness, and the inner peace follows. So we can do, there is no ignorance, and similar to dogmatism or wrong view. So to deal with the wrong view or dogmatism, which is um, raise or elevate our inner awareness to the third level of inner awareness. Or, in other words, we realize the truth from within. We have, we activate the inner emptiness. Then we have the inner peace. It will help us to protect our merits. So these are words what we have discussed yesterday. And today, let's get into the new lesson. Today we will learn about two concepts, which is matter and space. Matter and space. Space. Matter and space. We have any object, anything in this life is formed by the particles, the fundamental particles. This is about physics. I believe that if you have learned physics in the school, so we know about that. Everything, even our body, any object that you see around you, and even in our the space that we see, that they are made up by the particles. Or and if we chop them, we divide them until we cannot divide. They call those are the fundamental or basic particles. So I call it particle, particles, particle. And these particles is always moving, always moving. And they can move slowly, slow, or they can move fast, or they can move super fast. super fast. These particles move, always move, and they can move slowly, fast, or super fast. And when it moves slowly, slowly like this, you can see that my hands under the camera move slowly, slowly, slowly. And you see it, right? You can see it. But if it moves faster, faster, it will be blurred, blurred, right? It will be blurred. And if it's super fast, because I cannot make it faster. It will be super fast, super fast. And it becomes wave. It becomes wave. And if the thing that we see, if we see it, it become a matter to us, right? An object, a matter to us. But if we cannot see it, like the wave around us, so we call it space. We call it space. We call it space. And when these particles move, it generates the vibrational frequency. Vibrational frequency. These particles move, generate the vibrational frequency that the people consider is as the energy, as we often hear that they has the low energy, they has high energy, they has ultra high, super high energy. So it's from the vibrational frequency. When these particles move, our body release the energy. It release that there is a vibrational frequency, and we have analogies that can help us understand which one is matter, which one is space to us. And we call this one is observe, observe, object, observe objects. And there is observer, observer. And when these observers see this object, when they resonance in the same frequency, and we call that vibrational frequency resonance, or pre, uh, frequency resonance. When the observers and the objects, the observed objects, are has the frequency resonance. So these objects, this one become an object to the observer because the observer can see the object. When this observer see the objects, because they are in the same frequency, or they have the frequency resonance. And this one become the object. So if become a matter, become a matter. So if something becomes a matter, if the observer see it, feel it, or senses, or recognize, recognize. If the observers and have the same frequency or resonance in the same frequency level with that object, so it become a matter. And there are things that we cannot see, we cannot feel, can sense or can recognize. We don't see, we don't feel, we don't recognize, but it exists, right? Like the ultrasound or the infrasound is out of the range of our ears. The ears, our ears can hear it, but other animals can hear those sounds because they have the frequency resonance with each other. They resonate they at the same frequency. So if we see it, we feel it, we sense it, we recognize it, it become a matter to us. And to something is a matter to us once we have the frequency resonance to that object, to that thing. And if it's not a matter, it becomes a space to us. And it's similar to, it's not only the object that we can touch, and even the feeling or emotion, if we feel it. So it means that we resonate with that emotion, like happiness, tolerance, inner peace, fulfillment, gratitude, love. So these positive emotions have their own frequency, vibrational frequency. If we resonate with that level of frequency, we can feel it, we sense it, we recognize it, and it becomes a matter to us. It's become a matter to us. So in the same situation, and someone's feel happy, another feel sad, uncertain, worry, resentment, ang- angry. There is a story. Um, in the family, there are a twin, two boys with very similar face. And the first one is always happy. The second one is always sad. And the dad want to test and see how these boys respond or react if they put in different situation. The positive boy, was put in like a cage with all of the dung, many dirty things. The dad want to test if he still feel happy or and positive in that situation. And the other boy, the one who the sad boys, well, is put was put in a house with a lot of toys and many things to play with. And the dad also wants to test if his kid being sad in such a situation. And The after that experiment that said the positive ones is really positive i- in any situation. When the dad show the cage with a lot of dirty things, even dunked inside, that boy was excited and he asked his father, "Dad, don't don't tell me anything. You don't need to tell me anything. I believe that I can fight it." And the dad said, "What do you want to fight?" He said, "A gift. There should be a gift because there's. I don't think you put me in this room without any gift. So I will fight it. I definitely can fight it here. Let me fight it." And the boy who was put in the room full of toys was crying, and his father asked, "Why do you cry?" And he said, "There are many things to play with, so it's hard for me to choose which one." And you see, it doesn't matter if you experience a good situation, a bad situation. It depends on you. What inside you? It makes you feel that or recognize that situation or perceive that situation if it's good or bad. During COVID-19, many people suffered from that pandemic, but many people have good life during that time. So because they has different vibrational frequency. So if they resonate on a high vibrational frequency, so they can feel happiness, they can feel love, they can feel gratitude, they can feel joyfulness, positive energy, positive emotion. But if they resonate with a low vibrational frequency, so they feel mm, ar- they feel anger, they feel resentment, they feel uncertainty, they feel agony, they feel insecurity, something like that. So if you want to experience a good life, you need to resonate with the high uh, vibrational frequency. And it's similar to time. I know that you might have questions. So how can I have a high vibrational frequency? If you listened the sections in these journeys from beginning until now carefully, I believe that you have the answer. But no worries, we'll talk about that things in the following section. And now we we have a concept, a new concept, new definition about time. Time. So when we talk about time, what's your idea about time? When we talk about time, we often think about the past, right? Past and present and future. Future. And one day is 24 hours, one year is 356 days, or sorry, 365 days, for example. And when we talk about human life, how do we apply this knowledge into human life? So we need a different definition about time, which can help us to deal with the things in our life. Hello, teacher Ngọc Nhân. Thank you for your presence. Because when people stuck in the definition in the time which is in the past, uh, because people might have some they make some mistake, for example, or they are suffered got sufferings from some incident in the past, and somebody and they blame themselves or blame others for what they has experienced, the bad experience in the life in the past. And many people still live in present, but their minds stuck in the past, stuck in the past, in the event, in the past events. So they couldn't get out of that event because of this definition about time, the past, present, and future. So there's no way out for them. But there is new definition of time, and they give a gateway for those people to experience a new life. So read let me read that the new definition of time. Time in a sense, time in a sense is the change in vibrational frequency. Again, we mentioned about the vibrational frequency that allows us to experience different positions in space. Okay, time. New definition about time. So we have time in a sense is the change in vibrational frequency. Frequency that allows us to experience different position, different positions in space. Time, in essence, is the change in vibrational frequency that allows us to experience different positions in space. Time is not fixed. So it's not fixed, not fixed. It depends on the observer's choice to shift their vibrational frequency, to shift their vibrational frequency. So again, time in a sense is the change in vibrational frequency that allows us to experience different positions in space. What does it mean? It means that past, present, and future can be at the same, you know, can happen at the same time because it depends on how depends on our vibrational frequency to experience time. If we at the same vibrational frequency, it means that the time stop to us. And if it change, so we can feel that it's past, but if we fit it in this same vibrational frequency, so we feel that the time seems stop running. And why we mention about this definition and how does it work with our problems in the past and any suffering in the past, and what's the outlet for or the solution for us if we applied this definition. Okay, so if we apply this new definition about time, and we know that there's not a past, and the event in the past happened, and at the time we experience it, right? We experience it, and with the low vibrational frequency, that's why we have the suffering. We suffer from that event. Someone suffer from that event, right? And because they experience that event with the low vibrational frequency. So if at at the moment, if you are in a different vibrational frequency, and when you look back on that event, do you think that there there are things that could be a very huge problem to you in the past, but now you look back, sometimes you think it's not a big deal anymore. It's not it's not a big deal to you because your vibrational frequency at this moment change. At this moment change. So the past events doesn't affect you that much. So the incidents or the events can change, but our experience about those events, those incidents change by changing our vibrational frequency. Let's say if someone had a very bad connections with uh, his dad, his father, and they argued, they have big fights in the past, and he suffered from that event. But at the moment when he raised his vibration, he have a high vibrational frequency. He had different vibrational frequency, and when he looked back on the event in the past, his experience changed, and he might simply say sorry, apologize to his father, and things and make up and reconnect and rebond that connection. Or let's say in the past, I live in in a dorm in my which belonged to my university, and I lived in the same and I lived in a room with three others girls, for example, and one girl lost her wallet, and that money is very important. The money inside the wallet was very important to her. She looked or everywhere, every corner in the room, but she couldn't find it. And on the evidence, it could point to me, but I didn't take her wallet. So I said no, I didn't do that. Um, but because she has no strong evidence to say um, that if I do that or not. So things just pass, but our connections, our relationships is broken right at the time. So it's a best experience to me, and also it's a best experience to her, right? So both of us in a very low vibrational frequency at a time, at that time in that past events. But 20 years later, um, somehow um, we saw each other, and she was happy to see me and reconnect with me. And when we talk about the past, she said, recently I met another girl in our room, and she admitted that about in the wallet incidents. She was the one who took it because um, at a time she have a hard time to and she really needs that money for her personal issue, and she didn't dare to admit that for a long time. But now she thinks she thought is um it was a right time to admit that, and she apologized that girl, and recently she approached to me, the girl who lost her wallet approached me, and she said she wanted to Um, she wants to reconnect. Uh, and we can be friends again, and I have no problem with that. In the past, we have the low vibrational frequency and experience that bad incident, but at as of now, both of us has different vibrational frequency. So when we think about the incident in the past, it's not a big deal anymore. So that's why if we change, we can change our vibrational frequency. We can experience differently. We can experience differently in our life. And those who have the high vibrational frequency, um, they experience the good things. They can see the good things in life. They can see the lessons in any situation. They can see silver lining, silver, yeah, silver lightning, something like that. And it's like when you change your vibrational frequency, it's similar to you, for example, you are at this vibrational frequency, and then if you jump to the higher vibrational frequency, you experience a different timeline, different time flow, and you has different experience in the same situation. In the same situation. So that's why they said time is not fixed. When we understand that time is not fixed, it means that there are the outlets. There are outlets. There are gateways for any experience, for any bad experience, any troubles, any problems in the past. Because time is not fixed. And as long as we can change our vibrational frequency, we can change our experience with different time flow. We jumped from this time flow to another time flow. And in this time flow, the event in the past will be like this. But when you jump into a different, you have a different vibrational frequency, so you jump to another time flow. So the event in the past still the same, but you have different experience. You might have in the past you can feel angry, you can have the agony, you can have um, hatred inside. But when you have different higher vibrational frequency, when you look back on the past events, you might see lesson. You might invert some lesson for you to grow, or you can have the gratitude for the lesson that you have learned to develop yourself. And of course, when you change your vibrational frequency and you jump into different time flow and you had very different experience, even with the past event or the current event or in the future. So for those who might experience something bad in the past, don't blame yourself. It's not your fault. It's just an event. As long as you can raise your vibrational frequency or you change your vibrational frequency, you can have you can have a different experience in your inner being, in your inner being, in your side, in yourself, inside you. The event, the event still the same, but your experience. Your inner experience change. Inner experience change. And when we talk about, because time is not fixed, so there's two other relevant concepts about time. So we need to know that is about um, our feeling about times and the values of time. And our feeling about time. When we has the low vibrational frequency, we feel it so slow, very slow. And when when we experience the higher vibrational frequency, the time pass very fast to us, right? Low and high. So when we experience the low vibrational frequency, we feel the time pass very slow. So have you ever waited for someone and you feel the time pass very slow because you are at a low vibrational frequency? And if you feel the time pass very fast, you have done anything, but you have done a lot of things. But if you feel that time pass very fast, it means that you experience the high vibrational frequency, the high vibrational frequency. And we have the value that you can create during that time. If you experience the low vibrational frequency, so you can create the value that you can create during that time just a little, a little. But those who experience the high vibrational frequency, they they can create a lot, a lot of value during that time, a lot of value during that time. So still low vibrational frequency and high vibrational frequency. Time, so it means time is not fixed. And it depends on our vibrational frequency. If we are at a low vibrational frequency, we feel that the time pass very slow, like you are waiting for someone you don't like or you don't want. Or when I was in university, there are some subjects that I didn't like, but I have to attend that class. So most of the time, I'm not a person who slept on in the class, but I can feel that the slowness of that class, and it seemed like just 45 minutes, but it seemed like hours because I was in a low vibrational frequency. And I feel it's very slow, and the value that I created during that time also very little, just little, as I couldn't focus on creating the value. I just feel that the time passed and I want to sleep. I want to do other things and didn't do anything to create good value during that time. But there are there are period of times when I do something that I like, I eager to do that. I feel that time passed very fast, and I could done a lot of things during that time. And when it just into it, and when I look at the clock, so it's hours. It passed hours already, but I feel like just like 10 or 20 minutes only. But actually, it's past hours, and the value that I created during that time is a lot. Is more than when I was in the low vibrational frequency. And at the time, people call it, in science, they call it, they are in the flow. So they attend, like, they assess the flow state, the state of in the flow, they in their flow. And the flow is time flow of high vibrational frequency. And if you want to create more value and feel good about time, feel time pass very fast, you need to have the high vibrational frequency. You need to have a high vibrational frequency. And we can apply it into our life. Like, we, I think sleep is one of the problems that people might encounter. Sleep, sleep. How do we apply it, the new definition of time, into our daily life? And one of the activities that we really need, that's sleep, right? Sleep is very essential in our life. And if we can have a very good quality sleep, so it's really beneficial to our life. And when we has the high vibrational frequency, we can generate a lot of value during that sleep. Our body functions very well, and the inner organs work properly. And when we sleep, do you know that the bodies will detoxify some garbage inside us, or they just release the unnecessary things inside us. So how can we have such quality sleep? So when we have the high vibrational frequency, it's our sleep will be very good. And how do we have the high vibrational frequency? So when we sleep, when we sleep, we need to have the balance. We know that balance towards positive states will have the balanced state. The balance in a state will have us to have the super or ultra high vibrational frequency. And in the previous sessions, we have discussed about how to have the balanced states, right? When we realize the truth from within, the inner emptiness is activated and inner peace follows. That's moment we have the inner balance. We have the balanced state. So right before sleep, have the idea or have the intention that you just get into sleep with the balanced state. And how do we realize the truth from within? You need and just ask yourself that you know that you know it. That's it. There's no um analyzing, interpreting from the human nature layered or any, don't let your emotions jump in. And you know that anything that arises when you sleep, when you are starting to or was about to sleep, just you know it happened and that's it. And you hear and you know that you are hearing, you see and you know that you are seeing, that's it. Don't let any analyzing or even do you have any analyzing or interpreting, and you just accept it and it is. That's it. Any emotions, just accept it as it is. That's it. You know it happened and that's it. So by doing that, you have the habit to um, get into the balanced state. So balanced state is very essential for a very deep, qualified sleep. And right before our sleeps are the positive states is also very important. So we need a positive and balanced state, which generates mm, the high vibrational frequency and the ultra high vibrational frequency. Those to have the positive states, we can use the gratitude or the appreciation gratitude. The appreciation gratitude has the positive states, inner states, which can generate, release the high vibrational frequency. So these two states we need to remember for our sleep: gratitude, appreciation, gratitude, and right before sleep. If you can write something that make you feel grateful throughout the day, or you just talk to yourself, you are grateful for something, that is very well repairing for reparations for a qualified deep sleep. And when you wake up, again, gratitude to start your new day with gratitude, appreciation, gratitude, the positive states. So, and of course, before sleep, we need a physical health. It's not just only sleep itself, the energy itself, but also we also our body is formed by the earth, water, air, and fire, and also the electromagnetic energy, right? So about this electromagnetic energy states, we have positive and balanced towards positive states, which we discussed earlier. And remember that we never let the body feel hungry before sleeping. So we can have a light meal before our sleep and keep the body warm, keep the body warm. And what else? The air. So remember to practice. You can have the some breath works to make to create the free flow inside inside the body and keep the body warm enough. You can have 250 um, milliliters of water about 30 minutes before your sleep. So these elements, remember to provide your body enough to prepare for a good sleep. So about again, apply the new definition of time into sleep. And that's why I have this reality about the good sleep before. I believe that because we heard many messages and informations that every day we need to go to sleep by 10, for example, 10 and wake up, and we need at least 7 to 8 hours per night, and it's a good quantities for good length of time for sleep. Okay, and science have proved about that. No argued on that. But if you're working, you worked your job, or you have some other activities that you cannot sleep, you can have that routine. So you can apply it. What I just shared earlier about the balance towards positive state. You still can have a deep, qualified sleep. And when if you have these states when you sleep, even you just sleep for 3 4 hours per night, and it seems like it lasts for doubled hard double length of time. For example, you just sleep for 3 to 4 hours, but it seems like you have sleep for 8 to 10 hours. And I've seen that a reality in my community when people have they have some things to do, they have some projects to run, and they couldn't have 7 to 8 hours per night for sleep. So they applied this new definition of time. They keep their inner state with the balance towards positive states, and they when they wake up, they feel full of um, energy, and they still can convert with varied clear minds, and they feel like they have sleep enough, uh, even just 3 to 4 hours, but it seems like 8 to 10 hours to them, because they have the high vibrational frequency while sleeping, high to ultra high vibrational frequency. But those, have you ever encountered the situation that even you sleep for 9 to 10 hours, but you still feel tired after that sleep because you slept with the low vibrational frequency. So even it lasts for a long time, but the value that the body can create during that length of time, during that time, was just little. So the body didn't work very well. The inner organs didn't work very good. So is didn't detoxify the unnecessary things properly. The body still feel very tired after that sleep. So it doesn't matter how long you sleep or when you sleep, but it depends on um your state, inner state. If you can set into the balance towards positive states or not. And similar to and of course when you have like 3 to 4 hours sleep per night, but during the day you have some some napping is also very good if you take a nap with that still the balance to positive states. So it will be like 20 minutes can have the value as hours. So that's why my master said that he uh, he starts working by um, he wakes up by 3 a.m. in the morning a.m. and he have breakfast and around 4:30 he have a class morning class with his students until 6:30, and after that he have another yeah, meal, and he do some things personal things, and after that he also have class, and right before the class he have uh, sometimes he take naps for around 20 to 30 minutes, but those 20 to 30 minutes is like hours for him. And after that morning sections, the second morning sections, he have um, lunch, and during after lunch he also have another class with us, and for 1 to 2 hours, and after that he also he take he might take a nap for about 20 to 30 minutes, but still the same seem like hours for him. And after that he also sometimes he have class, sometimes he do some other things, run some bit projects, and in the evening he also have um, at least one class, 1 to 2, sometimes three classes until midnight or 1 a.m. the day after. And he said that, and he been doing that for years, and he's healthier day by day. He gets healthier. So it's a big question to many people. And he said that he sleep more than working, and nobody's healthy when they worked. They spend more time to work than sleep or than rest. He said rest. Um, and he said that he spends 48 hours to sleep a day. And people might think, isn't how can he sleep 48 hours a day and work about 16 hours a day? Because his definition, his concept about times has changed. It's not it doesn't count by the clock, by the watch, but it's is estimated by his vibrational frequency, by his inner state, the balance towards positive states. So that's why the value during his sleep or his rest is much more than we can imagine. So that's why he gets healthier. So that's about sleep, and similar to movements or workout, or so do some exercise. So like workout. And when you work out, have you ever experienced that you just work out for with few minutes and you feel like it lasts like hours because you experience that with the low vibrational frequency again with a low vibrational frequency you experience that and you feel it very slow and the value that you can create during that time just little. But when you have the high vibrational frequency, even you just work out for 5 minutes, do the exercise for 5 minutes, but it have much more value than to work out for 1 hour with the low vibrational frequency. And the body will function differently. And they understand that with the high vibrational frequency, your body can't, all the cells in your bodies will work differently. And the way they can correct each, inside us, there are some, um, there are some parts of the body can correct. They have the functions that correct some problems, just small problems inside us. So because of this correction function, it make our body can avoid a lot of sickness or illness. So again, we need the high to ultra high vibrational frequency to have the much more valued when we work out. And when we have the high vibrational frequency or we are in the state, balanced state towards positive states, we work out even just 5 to 10 minutes, but the value we have for our body is much more than we spend an hour with low vibrational frequency. All right, so we can also apply it into mm, sleep, workouts, and at work. For example, at work, working, you can apply it into any areas in your life. But these are some, the man's areas, man aspects in your life. Working, when we have the high vibrational frequency, uh, or high to ultra high vibrational frequency, the um, we work more effectively and our performance much more better, right? Much more better. So we need, when we have the clear minds, we think properly, the idea comes to us faster and we can deal with any problem. And when you are in the low vibrational frequency, you couldn't focus on your job and you couldn't think properly. So it affects your performance, your effectivity, efficiency. So again, we need balance to positive states, inner state, inner states. And when we talk about our health, when we talk about our health, have you ever seen someone who mm, at 50, 60, even 70 years old, but they look much younger than their experience, their appearance, sorry, their age. They're much younger than their age. And when you ask them about their, you know, some tips or strategies, you can see that you can feel that they have a very high vibrational frequency. And with the idea of thinking that you are still young, and you know that people are um, in the most strongest, in the strongest state, or the most strengthened when they are at around 20 years old. So that's why people said that always be always 20, be always 20. And I have that somehow I think is my blessing to have that belief. And before I just had that belief um, without knowing about this knowledge. Um, so I just if nobody mentioned about the age, I never thought I I never think about my age, and I feel like when I by the time that I graduated from the university, my age stopped. I know that it's hard for somebody to believe that, but I have that mindset. I don't know why. And now when I study about the human life, the root cause of human life, and I understand that it's a blessing to have that belief. And if nobody asks me about my age, so I don't remember that now I'm in on the documents. I'm such at around that age, and people often say that I have a younger experience because of that belief. And when I study about this knowledge, my master also share that 20 is the age that makes people think about the youth, think about the strength. So you can say that you are 20 always. So with that thinking or with that belief, your your body works differently, and how can we have that belief? Because in the high vibrational frequency, you can feel that way better, and or you just talk to yourself. You are trained. You are trained, and because from the root cause formula of life, we know that our belief um, is decided by the mental image, right? Our mental image. And our mental image comes from what we hear, what we see, what we know, and what we say. So if we keep telling ourselves that we are 20, so one day it becomes our belief we are 20s, and you are healthier, you are younger, you have the younger appearance. So that's how it works with the change in our vibrational frequency. We change the quality of our sleep, of our workout, of our working, of our daily activities, of any activities in our life. And if we're able to maintain the balance too towards positive inner states, we're able to have the high vibrational frequency to ultra high vibrational frequency. So time is not fixed. It depends on the change in our vibrational frequency to experience different position in space. All right, so that is all I want to share to everybody today. Let's apply what we have discussed today to your daily life, at least to your sleep, or your workout, or your working, and see the results. Thank you so much for your presence, for your time, for your patience to understand your life. And it's time to say goodbye. See you tomorrow, and bye for now.